Art the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
What? Okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smacked Raw podcast. One of the only wrestling podcasts you need to listen to on Friday nights. We are your hosts of the evening. My name is Kyle Tyson at the Kai Tai Show. Joining me, like always, RN at Mr. 8984. What's going on, bud?
What's good, boss man?
Oh, man, just rounding out a good night of wrestling.
Yeah.
Decent.
It's kind of weird that Friday night is has become not a shit show.
Yeah. I will still say this. I anticipate Wednesdays the most, but Fridays go the easiest.
Yeah,
I'll say that, man.
Absolutely, because it's like there's no back and forth. There's no like fucking having to change channels. There's no like seeing AEW stands cry on Twitter and shit. Like it's just
Everybody's
clean.
enjoying it, man.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, listen, if you're new to the show, we are a wrestling recap show. You can find us live on twitch.tv/putting you over every Monday, Wednesday, or actually Tuesday morning, Wednesday night, and Friday night covering Raw, Dynamite, and of course SmackDown. We cover pay-per-views on this channel too when the pay-per-views happen. If you ever want to catch our Nxt Live Recaps, we shoot them on twitch.tv/SmackDown podcast. That's on Thursday nights. You can listen to those cuss-filled shows, courtesy of RN over here. 30% F-bombs, telling you. But I only kid, though. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. If you ever miss a live stream, man, check us out on youtube.com/SmackDown podcast. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell when that pops up. Head over there. Help us out. We just surpassed 200 subscribers. Thank you guys. Thank you guys very much for getting us there. That is very awesome. And then lastly, if you want to catch up on your reading, check out WrestlingNewsWorld.com, man. They got a lot of talented writers over there. They do lists, articles, hot takes, retro reviews. They were kind enough to feature us as their exclusive recap podcast on there. They also feature other podcasts as well. So yeah, make sure to head on over there. Lastly, though, show some love for us, man. We got a Patreon, patreon.com/SmackedRawPodcast. We got a bevy of reward tiers, including stickers, t-shirts, and also making its return next week, unpopular wrestling opinions. So for the $10, I want to say super kick tier, you can feature your video question and have it featured live on Putting You Over and have the panelists debate whether your outlandish take has some grounds to stand on or if it's trash. Loyalty J is reminding me in the chat that I owe him some stickers back from November. Jay, I got you, buddy. I will get them tomorrow. Set a reminder, like, to DM me any point after 10 a.m. before 4 p.m. I will run your stickers next door to UPS. I honestly just keep forgetting. But I'll spend the extra money and send it via UPS instead of the post office, just because it'll be easier and more convenient. So hit me up, man. Just DM me. Remind me tomorrow. I'm terrible, okay? Bama says, "Where's mine?" Bama, are you on the Patreon? Damn, if Bama's on the Patreon, I feel terrible now. 'Cause I knew I owed Jay. Jesus. God knows I'm terrible, man. I need to hire somebody to send out the rewards for Patreon. I'm just going to send all my stuff over to URN. Let you do it for me.
They won't get it till 2022.
Bama says, just kidding. Dude, you could have fooled me. I would have been feeling bad tomorrow. Be like, well, shit, here's $30 to send out like a handful of stickers to UPS. Oh, man. Let's talk... Oh shoot! I wanted to say this, man. I don't know how to bring this up, but before the show starts, I like to talk about little cool things that happened. And apparently, without even realizing it, I met like a celebrity at work. the other day. Yeah. This guy name is Taylor Phillips. Apparently, he's a country music singer / songwriter, which would explain why I don't know who he is. So I'm helping out this guy, and he's Southern, just like everybody else that I help out in North Carolina. You know, so nothing strikes me as odd about this guy. And I'm helping him in the cell phone store. I'm bringing him over from another carrier, and we're shooting the shit. And I go through all my generic questions. I'm like, hey, man, what do you do for work? He goes, oh, I'm in the music business. I was like, all right, cool, man. You know, there's a lot of like starving artists out here. Mm-hmm. And then he tells me, he's like, dude, you know, don't transfer my text messages. And I said, what do you mean? He's like, look, I've got like 250 unanswered text messages. At that point, like a red flag went off. I was like, this dude like an influencer? Like, what the hell's going on? A little bit of digging. Apparently, this guy wrote this song, Hurricane, that really big modern country singer, I guess his name is Luke Combs, sings. Like I said, I don't know none of this. My ass hopped on Google, though, at that point. I went to the bathroom. I started Googling this dude. Yeah, this dude's, like, legit. This guy's, like, a millionaire. He's making like 33 cents off of every time this song Hurricane is played on Spotify and all these other streaming services for his royalties. And then he tells me the song has, like, over 1 billion plays. Like, yikes. This dude's a legit, like, multi-millionaire. Yeah, it's a #1 single is this song. And here I am just, like, selling this asshole a cell phone, knowing nothing about it. The whole time my coworker, is like fangirling in the back, like trying to keep her shit together. Jay's telling me in the chat that Luke Combs actually did an episode of Straight Up Steve Austin. Look at that, see? Yeah, like I know. I'm rubbing elbows with one of his friends, apparently. I don't even know. But it was interesting. A little celebrity sighting. I wasn't even aware that I was helping the guy.
I hate when that shit happens when you have no idea who the fucking person is.
No, he said we're right next to a Buffalo Wild Wings, and I told him, I was like, hey, man, it's going to take like a half hour. He's like, well, I'm going to go grab a beer. The dude was back like 3 minutes later. He was like, ah, shit. Everyone was asking for like pictures and stuff.
Just mind if I just chill here?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, bro. You don't have to worry about me, man, because I don't know a damn thing about you.
Oh, no. That was you are.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that was my weird celebrity encounter. My wife was pissed I didn't take a picture of him because my wife knows who he is, too. And I was like, why am I going to ask this grown man for a picture and I know nothing about him? I was like, no, man, fuck that. Anyways. SmackDown. Yeah, let's get back on track. SmackDown. RN, what'd you think, man?
Good show as always. I mean, it's ever since Romans came back, it's the A show.
Hell yeah. Nah, it's simple as that.
Yeah, I mean we've been covering SmackDown for I've been covering it with you almost a year now, coming up on a year, and it's never been better since Roman's been back.
That's true, man. No, it really is true. Yeah. SmackDown was always in the debate whether or not, you know, and nowadays I feel like it's just like the clear obvious winner. We had some cool stuff, some unique things. Paul Heyman challenging for a match. Sami Zayn being handcuffed pretty much all night to one of the barriers.
I'm starting to get into that. Like, I wasn't really into it at first, but now I'm starting to kind of get into it. Like, I hope it turns into something, but
you know what sells me on it is what do we claim that WWE is one of like prestige, and if anything else can be criticized, that's one thing that can't be. That's their video package
and their documentaries and shit.
That's
what I'm saying. I hope it turns into something like that, where even if it's like fake, even if it's like some like office shit, like, but just if they package some of his bullshit like they do to like 24/7 or Chronicle, like if they package it showing him getting played and stuff and everything, like that would be lights out. That would be worth all of this just for that alone.
Exactly. No, that's my thing too. That's exactly why I'm so into it. Is I'm really believing we're gonna get some like hilarious mockumentary.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but in the end of all this, and it's gonna be fantastic. Even if it's on YouTube, I don't care. Yeah,
none.
I
Just
will.
as
I
long as we
will.
get some payout for it.
Yeah, I will gobble that shit up, man.
Pause.
uh, One of my favorite parts of the night, even though it was like a throwaway segment, was Street Profits getting put in their place. And then, yeah, I mean, that was really it. They just had a really good pace tonight. They just had a
Yeah.
really good pace.
Yeah, it wasn't slow at all. That was like one of the main things I took away from the show was the pacing from it. Like there was no like lull, there wasn't no like lag time. Like the show was moving.
Yeah. So let's kick it off. The opening segment was another promo by Roman. Roman Reigns coming out saying that he doesn't miss appearances. It took his health risk and the pandemic to get this man to stay home. Otherwise, right. He works 52 weeks a year. He's obviously griping about Adam Pearce pulling out the match with faking a knee injury.
Right.
Roman then goes on to talk about how his back hurts from carrying the company. Some of the cliche lines, but where it really ramped up is Roman starts to, I guess, insinuate, like, what if I take my ball and go home? At this point, Adam Pearce calls out. Roman says he's a bitch, which is, WWE's main curse word, to call another grown man the B word. But at one point, Paul Heyman starts talking some smack like he always does. Pearce says he doesn't have to take it from Heyman. Characteristically, Heyman challenges Pearce to a match. He drops a really good line, by the way. He says, I may not be a lawyer, but I come from a synagogue full of them. And he challenges Adam Pearce to a match at the end of the night, which I think caught everyone by surprise initially.
Yeah, I was into it, but like Seb was saying that he saw people saying this was Roman's best promo ever. And I'm like, where did that shit come from? Like, it was...
Honestly, I felt like it was one of his most generic.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, it was good. I mean, all his promos have been good, but I mean, I wouldn't say he did anything fucking groundbreaking or anything like that made me stop and like jaw open or anything like that. It was a normal tribal chief promo.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't bad by any means.
He's consistently good.
That's what I'm saying, especially for him, how shitty he has been doing promos. Like, he's shit leaps and bounds better than what he was before he came back from chemo and everything. But
we often compliment wrestlers on going from their in-ring talent, watching their in-ring talent development. I can't think of a wrestler where his promo abilities, man or woman's, has come as far as Roman's did, seeing as starting as piss poor as it was. Now, granted, like I said, we can sit here for an hour and go over the fine details. Well, it wasn't really Roman, it was the writing and all that stuff. At the end of the day, though, from the amount of like, dude, get off the mic to the point now where like, hell yeah, give me Roman every week, multiple times a damn show.
And even with the writing part, like, yeah, I agree. A lot of it was the writing, but the writing has nothing to do with his delivery of it and him forgetting words and him having to start all over and shit. Like, and don't get me wrong, he still does that time to time, but now he recovers from it. Before he couldn't. He just stop, reset, and say what he messed up. Now he recovers from it. He thinks on his feet and he just keeps the promo going. Like, there's no stop time. That's the key difference, is when he fucks up, he fixes it. He doesn't just reset and start all over, rewind and start all over.
Yeah, that cadence of his gets him through it. Bama Dave brings up a cool point. He says he actually had a lot of babyface points in his promo, talking about his illness, work ethic, and consistency. It's like, damn it, I didn't even think of that. He was cutting a babyface promo out there and still coming across like an asshole.
But if you think about it, most villains, that they always think they're the babyface, and if you really pay attention to their content, they do say some babyface shit. They do always say how much harder they work than everybody, how much better they are than everybody. And like most villains always think they're the good guy in their story.
Yeah.
And that's the mark of a good villain.
At this point, we get one of the secondary storylines to kick off is after this whole segment transpires and Adam Pearce agrees to the main event. match between him and Paul Heyman. Sami Zayn comes out, handcuffs himself to the barrier with protest signs in tow, camera crew.
Why was that so hard for him to handcuff himself to the barrier? Like, there's literally like cross beams and shit under those things. Like, he made that way more difficult than it had.
For a minute, man, he did. But this was a transitional segment. Nothing really came of it because afterwards, Asuka and Charlotte come out. They take on the Riot Squad. Nice to see the tag champions traveling between brands again. Let's see how far that goes.
Right.
During the match, we see Natalya and Tamina watching on. Liv Morgan gets some time to shine in this tag team match, but ultimately they lose when Billie Kay accidentally costs them again. Afterwards, backstage, Billie gets scolded. She tries to make up for it, says she spoke to Sonya, who Sonya now is confirmed and official, or a producer or whatever. She spoke to Sonya, got them in the Royal Rumble, but this may be too little too late. The Riot Squad leave her high and dry. I don't think it's completely over for them, but I don't know where it's going because it's kind of one of the more like lackluster stories. Although that Billie Kay is fantastic, don't really see what's going on.
Well, I mean, a lot of it is the people that they've been having her work with. Natalya, the Riot Squad, all people that have zero personality or zero really mic skills to keep up with her. Like, I don't know what they – and the thing about it, too, it would make more sense if she sucked in the ring, but she's also good in the ring. So, like, she should be getting more time in the ring as well. And I don't know. I just don't understand how they're using her. Like, I'm glad she's on TV. But, like, they definitely made a mistake thinking that Peyton Royce was the star out of that tag team.
Yeah, now Peyton Royce is playing second fiddle to Lacey Evans in this makeshift tag team that you never even see him tag just about.
Right. And I hate that the tag champs are Asuka and Charlotte.
I really do, too. I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. Over on Raw, me and Katie talk about it all the time, how those belts are hindering the women's division on Raw. There's like so much potential. We went through the names. Like Raw has a stacked division, just nothing's going on with them except for maybe like Alexa Bliss and Asuka. They have some cool stuff, but I mean Dana Brooke. Say what you like, man. Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose are very, very well talented wrestlers, and given the right opportunities, you can definitely make like main eventers out of them.
I just don't want to hear Dana talk. Like, she is terrible on the mic.
Like, I don't think she's terrible. You just get to find her moments, man.
Well, thing is,
she needs the right moments.
Yeah, and I think, like, in real life, she'd be fucking hilarious and, like, she'd be dope to kick it with and to hang out with, but, like, not in her wrestling voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think she's found her wrestling voice. Like, I think she's still talking like she would talk in real life, like, just – and it's not working. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that makes sense.
I think she's still recovering from the Flex Express. Let's be honest.
Probably.
Bama says Billie Kay could be the next Vicky Guerrero. She'd be a great manager. Honestly, Billie Kay can do whatever.
Really?
Like she can be a great wrestler. She can be face. She can be heel. Like Billie Kay, you can put her in any spot, and I swear that woman is like a chameleon. She'll know how to blend in and adapt for that role.
Honestly, I would have rather liked her in the authority role than what's her name? Because Sonya has no personality. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I love her in the ring. I love her style. I love her, even her suits and shit, everything. Like, but she is dry as shit. Like, none of her stuff comes up natural.
She works better like a Roman personality.
The
strong, to the point, sharp-witted. You need her words to punch as hard as her punch. And so if she's not mixing it up in the ring and you're just having her backstage, you're missing like half her personality is her physicality.
Exactly. You know? That's what I was trying to get across. Like, you need her more in the ring than you need her backstage doing vignettes, because she is not good on the mic. She's decent. She can hold her own, but like what the position that they have her in, she is not the right person for that. I'd much rather see Billie Kay because, like you said, she could be heel, she could be face, she could be whatever the hell she could be both if you need her to be. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like she would work better in that role than Sonya by far.
Now, I do think Sonya like is really good on the mic when she's like in her like with her feud with Mandy Rose.
Right.
She killed it on the mic. Like
Right.
how impassioned she was in that feud. But if she's not in a feud and she's not like boiling over with rage and vengeance, yeah,
Right.
it's kind of weird. It's just kind
And
of
that was another thing too. That was personal. That was her friend. So like I don't want to say she knew she could say whatever, not say whatever she wanted, but like she didn't. I don't think she felt some type of way saying what she needed to say because they are really friends. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's that same thing when you see two guys that are really friends wrestle each other where they beat the living shit out of each other. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? So like it's different when you have familiarity with your opponent and you're comfortable with your opponent. You can say and do things you wouldn't feel comfortable doing with someone else. And I think that's what that was, her coming out party. But I mean, they didn't capitalize on it.
No, they're probably reserving her for a good story, like for a good feud. They probably realize, like, look, we don't really have anything, but Twitter loves you.
Right.
We got to get you back on TV, and we'll put you in this role until we can figure out a feud for you and get your ball rolling again.
And I'm not mad at that either, because at least they're finally listening to fans on Twitter somewhat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I'm not hating on that either. I mean, fans are fans. If the fans want you, whether I like you or not, or whether what I think, like if the fans are clamoring for you, like I want to see that person on TV, because then that shows us that sometimes they are actually fucking listening to us, the people that watch the product.
Yeah. Get Your Podcast is hopped in. I'm pretty sure it's Justin. What's going on, Justin?
What's good, Brody?
So Brian comes out to the ring. Daniel Bryan comes out. He informs us pretty much the rules of the Royal Rumble and, you know, the whole meaning behind it. Says it makes him feel alive. Brian is still my pick to win the thing. As he's coming out describing the Royal Rumble, Cesaro comes out, mocks him. Brian ends up challenging him to a match. Cesaro, speaking truth, says he's tired of proving himself. He just beat him. You know, he doesn't have to do it again. So Cesaro, in an odd turn, second heel, pulling babyface tactics, Cesaro issues an open challenge. That's a babyface thing.
Yeah.
You don't have heels doing open challenges, unless it's like jobbers and low mid carders. You know, always the ones answering, getting squashed. Ends up being Dolph Ziggler coming out. At this point, I actually was getting pretty hyped. I was like, oh shoot, they're gonna give another showcase match. This is like Ziggler always pulls off good matches.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it was pretty short. We got a similar spot, that of like when AJ Styles caught Ricochet into the Styles Clash. Cesaro caught Ziggler mid-move into the neutralizer. One thing that made me laugh, though, was during the match, Daniel Bryan's on commentary, right? And Daniel Bryan is trying to answer questions. Mid-question, Cole starts screaming like, swing, swing, because Cesaro's got Ziggler in the swing. And Cole asks him, he says, have you ever been in the swing? And Bryan says, yeah, last week in my match with Cesaro, you called the match.
No, this was dope for me, and I'm kind of pissed at WWE because I know they're playing with my emotions with these Cesaro wins. Like, this is the two biggest wins of his career in the last 2 or 3 years, probably.
Yeah, I know, man. I hope it comes to something, but I think it's gonna come to a feud with Shinsuke. I think we were talking about that last week.
Yeah, which even that, like, I mean, okay.
Yeah,
It's gonna suck for either one of them. That's why I'm not into it, because one of them's gonna have to lose, and I like both these guys.
right.
I don't, like I said, I don't know. I love Cesaro. I always have. I wish, like, I don't understand how this man hasn't done more.
That is a topic that, once again, we could spend hours on, you know, going over the history and everything. But by this point, it is what it is. I'm hoping that once this Intercontinental picture, which starts to take shape later in the show, once that clears up, we can integrate Cesaro and maybe Nakamura into it and really start kicking off like these showcase matches on SmackDown like they've been starting to give us. on top of the great character work, we're now getting like good wrestling matches too. Like it's SmackDown is
what
just
SmackDown was known
very
for.
well rounded.
It's funny when Paul Heyman gets to put his hand in the pot, how shit gets better, huh?
I'm telling you, man. All right, so I guess one of two segments that was way better than it had any right to be was this intergender match. Carmella, for one, by the way, I thought it was hilarious. Carmella sits next to Corey Graves,
Right.
and they can't speak on any of it. Although Cole was giving Graves shit about drinking. I'm pretty sure, referring to Corey Graves getting drunk on Twitter and being a complete dickhead. So
that's the part. And the thing about it too, like I know that it's kayfabe shit, and I get it, but like he completely freezes up whenever she's around.
Dude, I mean,
like he doesn't say anything. Like it's just Cole out there talking. Like he'll throw something in, but for the most part, he doesn't say a fucking word.
They're probably messing with each other. They're probably like poking and messing with each other on air.
And I would imagine the producer probably giving him shit too, and he's just like.
Hey, look, man. I used to work with my wife, and the last the month or so, the month or 2 months that we were messing around. We're not really messing around, but we realized we liked each other. Dude, I was freezing up at work. I couldn't do my job when she was around me.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying it like I'm saying like you could tell that they're together because you act different when your girlfriend walks in the room.
Yeah, you do.
Any man that doesn't is an idiot or a liar.
Now, Reginald here has a match with Sasha Banks. Right, and he kicks off the match. He offers her a fake flower, and in motions to ask for a kiss. This sets off Sasha. I love it though. Every bit of Sasha's offense, Reginald has like a counter and a flip to get out. This dude was flipping in and out the ring everywhere. And then anytime Reginald goes for something, Sasha Banks has an arm drag. Seriously, Sasha Banks pulled off about 8 arm drags in this match. Even
that bigger one that they botched towards the end of the match, it still ended up looking decent. Like even though they botched it, like this was so dope to me. Like and like you said, it had no business being as dope as this was. Like why the hell is Reginald not on 205 Live?
Yeah,
or NXT? Like this, shit's crazy.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's just, it was a sad reminder, because, halfway through I realized, Reginald's not going to, do one thing to her. They're not going to do any, they're not going to let him strike her or even perform a transitional move.
Even though, when he had her from behind and was, picking her up, I'm not going to lie, that was kind of cringy as fuck.
But, yeah, so in my eyes, it'll go down as an intergender match, but it was more or less like a ballet. Like, how can we create a match where this man does not do any harm to the woman, but still make it look like it was a competitive match?
Right.
Ultimately, Sasha Banks does this tilt-a-whirl counter into a bank statement. Wasn't the cleanest thing, but it got the job done. And taps Reginald. And it was really fun. And like you said, Reginald needs to be on 205 Live. Or something, needs to be an in-ring talent because the guy can go. You can tell that dude. He you know what he reminds me of is Leo Rush. Leo Rush had agility for days, and that's exactly what Reginald does. Although Reginald has some smoother stuff, his weird back rolls out of the ring. Back somersaults through the ropes and stuff looks so
the one where they were both hitting the ropes and he did a kind of I don't even know what the hell it was, where he kind of jumped over at the same time.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about.
I don't even know
running the ropes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you, he looked like he had a little tiny dad bod. He didn't look like he was gonna come out there and bust some shit out like he did. That shit was amazing. I'm sorry, it really was.
Yeah, he either did gymnastics or parkour or both.
Or both.
Yeah. That guy knows how to just maneuver around. He's extremely agile. Backstage, though, after the match, Paul Heyman's in a room with Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman's is playing it up like, I'm ready. I was reading you loud and clear. Roman's like, I didn't hand you the mic to challenge him to a match. I handed you the mic to tear him to shreds verbally. He's like, at this point, it's on you. Go handle your business. And Roman exits, and it leaves that comedic, like, oh shit look on Paul Heyman. It was good stuff. So following that, we've got this Intercontinental picture. RN. What are you thinking, man? Are we going to get like a showcase triple threat? Because Apollo Crews and let's be honest, Apollo Crews and Big E couldn't even get started.
Nah.
No, this match couldn't even get off the ground. You got like 2 minutes in. And the handcuffs finally came off Sami Zayn, and he came in and Helluva kicked both of them. So we have a triple threat lining. Lining
I'm
up.
so sick of triple threats. I mean, everything doesn't have to be a triple threat. It's like they can't go 6 months without a triple threat. Like it's going to be a dope ass match because these three are ridiculous. Like, and the worst part is we really haven't even seen the high flying that Apollo can do, because like he can do all that shit that Ricochet or any of them guys, he can do it all. The 450s, shooting star press, standing off the top rope, any of that. He can fly with the best of them to be his size. So I'm hoping
he's like a small Brian Cage,
Yeah, literally.
He's an extremely powerful guy, but he's also extremely agile.
I wouldn't even say small. They're probably about the same height. They're both probably like 5'8", 5'9", 250.
I'd just have to see him next to you. You know how like the shows make certain people look bigger and smaller and stuff. So
well, that's because he's in A&W and everyone's 5'5". But no, I'm pretty sure they're around the same size. Like both like 5'10", 5'11", 250, 240, something like that.
Yeah. In the chat, if you guys could help me out here, is it traditional for WrestleMania to have the multi-man Intercontinental Championship? I know we didn't have it last year because that was Bryan and Zayn in a singles. Yes. But I want to say in the last 10 years at WrestleMania, the Intercontinental Championship, I want to say like maybe on several occasions, was like a multi-man ladder match.
It was, because didn't Bryan won one, didn't he? And then that was right when he retired, when he had to retire.
Yeah, I know he won one. So I'm wondering if that's what this is doing, is just trying to introduce more players to the Intercontinental scene so that come Mania they'll have, a big scramble. Because last year they had the multi-man ladder match for the tag titles. Even though it wasn't a tag match, it was one member of each tag team. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mania does not seem like it was that long ago.
Yeah, it was a year ago, man.
Yeah, it is literally
coming up
2 months,
man. It was a year ago.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Bama says they did it to replace the Money in the Bank ladder match. See, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I really feel like at Mania they always have some sort of multi-man ladder match.
Yeah, because I remembered Money in the Bank. That's what I was gonna say. Like, didn't they used to do Money in the Bank as well?
Yeah, until they made it its own paper. Yeah. So maybe that's what they're doing. They're just trying to get more players in this Intercontinental scene. Like you said, you got Cesaro and Nakamura right there too. There's no reason why they can't get introduced to it. Although you're going to be kind of heel heavy. It's going to be Big E and all the heels, essentially. But
well, I mean, Shinsuke technically he's a face now.
That's true. Oh, yes, that's true. Shinsuke's face. He's got his old music back. He's totally face.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So, got a video package of Kevin Owens. This was pretty just standard stuff. Kevin Owens isn't at the building, by the way. We forgot to mention that. Roman pulled some strings. Kevin Owens goes on to claim that his tattoos have meanings, and I believe his knuckles have his grandparents' initials on them.
Yeah.
And they inspire him to keep fighting, and it was a throwaway segment. Nothing much to it.
He wears that Andre the Giant shirt on every single WWE show. Everything they've recorded him on, not live or in the ring, he's had that Andre the Giant shirt on. I swear.
I haven't been paying attention.
The last one that they did for him, and the 24/7 or whatever. Like, I swear to God, he had that Andre the Giant shirt on both shows.
So, the Street Profits backstage, right? trying to butter up Sonya for a rematch, which she agrees. She runs down their accolades for the previous year of all the title defenses and how long they had the belts for. But then she says, Montez, you're still injured, and almost kind of mocks him. Says, hang out backstage, do what you do best, do those funny skits. How about you take a step back and watch these other tag teams work, and then down the road, we'll give you that rematch. And I think Bama or someone in the chat believes this might be a slow burn for a heel turn on the street for the Street Profits.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah?
I'm tired of the shucking and jiving shit, man. And she literally just said that. Stay back in the back, shuck and jive.
She did, man.
like I don't know. Everybody always gives me shit when I say that, but I mean, she literally told them, do what you do best. Stay back in the back and make people laugh. Sing and dance.
As far as his heel turn goes, I don't know if it's a heel turn, but I've never seen them really display legitimate irritation, because when Sonya put him in their place, Montez and Dawkins, that was kind of one of the first serious tones of like,
nah, they were,
what'd you say?
Like when they first came out in NXT, they were heels.
Yeah,
and they were on some shit. I like them better as heels too, because I mean, I'm always a race guy, but like their real powerful black niggotry comes out when they're heels. Like the shucking and jiving is still there, but it's more, it's subtle stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like them as heels, especially Dawkins. Like, I think he's a better heel.
Yeah. I really hope that people on the audio version of this podcast understand that you're black. Because otherwise, this is going to sound like a terrible show.
At this point, if they don't know that I'm black, I don't know.
So, all right, I'll be the first one to admit I was wrong, RN. Shitting on this obstacle course all week long, including last week's show.
I was right there with you. I was right there with you.
It's going to be Sami Zayn, Bobby Lashley all over again. And then when they showed that it was in the Thunderdome going around the ring, I was like, yep, we're doing that again. And I will say, I'm pleasantly surprised. So essentially, this is kind of the story of it. Bayley sets up this little rink-a-dink athletic obstacle course, starting at the top of the ramp and circling around the ring, ending with landing a basketball shot. And it's timed. So Bayley's going to set the time. Bianca Belair is going to go behind her and then have to beat whatever Bayley's time was. During this obstacle course, Alpha Academy, Chad Gable is one of the obstacles where he has to be fireman carried for a section, like alongside of the ring, for one side of the ring. So Bayley comes out. She does this little agility course. This is nothing major. She's, instead of jumping over these walls, she's running around them, whatever. She's kind of doing like a terrible job at it too. Ultimately, she fireman carries Chad Gable, struggles a little bit, and then sinks her basketball shot on the second shot. You know, out comes Bianca Belair, and here's the swerve. Bayley has these obstacles replaced with larger hurdles. Bianca has to go over the walls. And then ultimately the big shocker was when it came to fireman carry Chad Gable, Otis emerges. And at that point, I'm like, okay, it was a setup. Bianca's screwed. This chick fireman carries Otis alongside of the ring and made it look easy. Looked easy. Oh my God.
It looked like she could have picked up two of Otis's. Like, it did not look like she struggled with that at all. She literally,
that was some Cena strength, man.
She literally lifted from her knees and put his big ass up and walked him. I was like, is this serious? Like,
could not believe it.
Like, it was like, shit was crazy. That was some of the craziest shit I've seen.
Yo, it's definitely the thumbnail. If you're watching this on the YouTube, you already knew this because it's definitely the thumbnail of the episode.
Yeah, but, like, wow.
And then to top it all off, the icing on the cake was when she got to the basketball section, she egged Bayley on and she broke her ankles and slam dunked. Afterwards, of course, though, in true heel fashion, Bayley, being a sore loser, attacks Bianca Belair. But Bianca was the highlight of the show at that point. Dude, just the sight of her dead fireman carrying Otis was insane.
Shit, you might as well say deadlift too. I mean, goddamn, picking up a 300-something pound dude like that, like,
it harks back to when like Brock Lesnar F5'd the Big Show.
Yeah,
you know, or even
young
if you
Brock
want to go,
Lesnar, not Hoss Brock Lesnar now, younger Brock Lesnar.
Young Brock Lesnar doing it, or even if you Golden Age Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre, it was just an incredible feat of strength.
Yeah.
Because the moment I saw Otis, I was like, okay, yeah, joke's over, whatever. You know, I did not anticipate it.
Yeah, I was thinking she's gonna pick him up, like hurt her back, and then that's when Bailey was gonna like beat the brakes off of her.
Yeah, did not expect it, man. That was awesome.
I don't understand. Like, I'm all right that she's getting the time that she's getting finally, but like, what more does she have to do to prove to them that he is a fucking star, bro?
I don't want to get my hopes up, man, but the rumor is that she might be one of the betting favorites to win the Rumble, because she just had the WWE Chronicle come out too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
WWE's promotional machine is starting to shine some light on her. So yeah, I mean, fingers crossed, but yeah, she might be winning that Rumble, which if she does, the people are going to erupt. Like,
like I'm just happy because it's a black woman, a young black woman at that too. She's dope on the mic. She's married. Like, there's no like weird shit that could come out. No like scandals or anything. She's college educated. And she's a beast, bro. Like, I don't understand. She is literally the total package. Like, literally the total package.
We just need to get her own Lex Express, man.
Literally. Get her a bus. Shit.
Yeah. The EST tramway. I don't know. But anyways, afterwards, yeah, I hope she wins the Rumble, man. I really do.
I do too.
Afterwards, Rey Mysterio's backstage. He's with Dominic. He's hyping up Dominic for his match. Dominic though says, "I got it, Papa." Like, he's like, "I can do this. I'm gonna do it my way." Ray backs off. He knows, at that point, not much I can say. He says, "Go ahead, do it your way. But if you come up short, we're gonna come back and we're gonna take my advice for the next go." Of course, predictably, Dominic goes out, has a bad game plan. He's trying to throw hands with a Golden Glove.
Right.
Baron Corbin. Dominic ultimately loses, gets put away. You think this is how they're going to roll out? We talked about this. You think this is how they're going to roll out? What's his name?
Yeah, Damian Priest.
Damian Priest. Yeah.
I hope so. I mean, what else would it be? Because remember, he said we got to talk to somebody else. So he actually mentioned the person when he said it. My thing is, like, I'm just over the Mysterio family. Like, and the worst part is, like, I think Dominic would actually be dope and actually have a chance to flourish if he got away from his dad. Like,
yeah, I said pair him with Carrillo. Watch two really young, eager, talented guys form a tag team.
He could talk for Carrillo because Carrillo can't really speak English that well.
And Dominic's not bad on the mic, man. He's not.
No, he's not. And that's the part that's most surprising is for him to be as young as he is. He is good on the mic. Like, he looks comfortable. Like, he never looks shook or like the moment's too big for him. Like, and that trips me out every time I see him, as much as I'm sick of seeing their asses and dead tired of their storyline. But like, he never looks like the moment's too big, which is crazy for me. For what is he, like 20, 21 years old?
He's a baby.
No experience or whatever. His first experience is Monday Night Raw with Seth Rollins. Like,
talk about trial by fire, putting you in there with Seth. Your first televised match is on pay-per-view, SummerSlam, I think it was.
Yeah, but again, Seth and even Rollins. That may have been his best match that he's had so far, and it was his first match.
He did fantastic, man. I'm still hoping if Seth comes back with this Messiah gimmick, Dominic jumps ship. I really hope
that's what I predicted from the beginning, that would be, especially once they lost Theory and all that. That finally that would be what turned the damn story with them, was Dominic switching sides. You know what I'm saying? And then they ended up doing Buddy switching side. I'm like, how is he the Messiah with no disciples now? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, they could be sowing the seeds for a feud with him and his dad, though. his dad always having the answers and Dominic being the young green guy.
That's what I was saying. That's what I wanted. I wanted him to jump ship with Seth, and then they start feuding.
Katie says Dominic is 23. Good God.
Yikes.
Good Lord.
We have to start giving him his roses for doing the things that he's doing out the gate. Like no NXT, no real like indie shit going on or anything like that. Like out the gate, first match pay-per-view versus arguably top 5 wrestler in the world on the biggest show in the world.
He's a blue chip. If there's ever a person you could label a blue chip in WWE, it's going to be Dominic.
Yeah.
Between the genes, growing up in the business with Ray, Eddie, all of these, like world-class luchadors and just
fourth generation
professional wrestlers. Yeah, the dude, it's going to be harder for him to fail than to succeed.
And at this point, it doesn't look like he's anywhere near being a failure. Even if he goes somewhere else, like he's still going to have this cachet that follows him if he goes somewhere else.
God, and I love his gear too, man.
Yeah, it's fire with the hood and everything.
The blue Power Ranger get up he's got going on, man. Oh, I
seriously wouldn't mind seeing him in NXT, honestly.
Yeah, that's what Bama says. Bama says stick him in NXT and have him feud with Santos Escobar.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Perspective, Bama says Randy Orton won his first Intercontinental title at 23, won the world title at 24. I don't think Dominic is going to be that, but it wouldn't shock me around 26, 27.
25, 26. That wouldn't
shock me a couple more years, because even with Randy Orton, Randy, you saw it in his face. You saw world champion. Dominic, he still looks like a baby. Where Randy came in, he looked, although he had a really smooth complexion, he still looked like a man, like the prototype WWE superstar. And
really, Dominic's not that small either. I mean, no. Like he's not. Like he's got to be every bit of 6'1", 6'2".
Same size as Seth Rollins, I would think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I mean, because what's Ray, like 5'7", and Ray comes up to his damn belly button, damn near.
Yeah, man. But yeah, no, I could see Dominic grabbing some gold, setting some, maybe, not maybe necessarily setting records, but definitely grabbing some gold in a couple
Wouldn't it be funny if he ends up being the Spanish or Latin star that they've been looking for all these fucking years? And it goes from being his dad being the last one, and he ends up picking the ball up and doing it.
Ray is 5'5", according to Bama. Jess hops in the chat. She says, "Love you." Oh, thank you, babe. It's awesome. But yeah, I love the idea of Dominic turning heel, man. Dominic 6'2", Bama says. Damn, so that's what I thought. Yeah, 6'2", 6'3", man. WWE won't even hesitate to put a title on you. You don't.
And the thing I like about luchadors too is like they don't look athletic at all. Like they all look like dads or like bartenders. Like none of them look like they could do the shit. Because even Dominic, like he looks stiff as hell. Like he doesn't look like he's gonna go out there and bust out the shit that he did. But that like I don't even know what it was. I don't want to say Hurricane Rana, but that like wheelbarrow thing kind of thing that he did to Corbin in the middle of the match. Like it's like, bro, like come on, like that. Like this dude he's dope. Like I'm really becoming a fan of this kid, like legit.
Same here, man. Same here. Like I said, pair him up do what you do with all the young guys through history. Pair him up with another person who's seasoned in the business that's not his dad.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying you need to end this story. I'm not to the point where I'm like, end this now, but find out where you're going with it, please. And let's hit that conclusion button.
My thing is like, I wouldn't be mad if they did like a Spanish version of Legacy.
Who would that be?
Well, I just thought it'll be Humberto, Angel Garza, him, and then technically, I don't know if Andrade is or not, but I know those three are for sure.
Yeah. With Legacy, what? Wasn't there like one seasoned guy or no? Well, Randy that point was a veteran.
Yeah, it was Randy. Randy was the seasoned guy technically.
Yeah. do Andrade, Humberto, and Santos.
Yep.
Or Carrillo. Swap either of them out. If you want some edge, get Santos in there.
Yeah,
you know?
I think Santos is going to be. I think he's going to be their next up. Their next. I think he's going to be the next star because he speaks English better than all of them besides Dominic, and he can really do the lucha stuff and all that. I think he's going to be their Mexico guy that they drag out whenever they finally start touring. I think he's going to be the one that they put the rocket on.
Nice, man. Nice. As predictable as that is, so was the finish of the show. So I think all of us, by the end of the show, the shock wore off, and at least me, I was like, yeah, this is going to be the same thing Adam Pearce did last week. Feint the injury, card subject to change. And of course, that's exactly what happened. Pearce is in the ring. Heyman fakes an injury on the side. Card subject to change, he says. Out comes Roman Reigns.
Before you get there, it really did look like he tripped and hurt himself. Like, it didn't look like, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course we know it's fake, but it really did look like he missed that step. I
was wrong. In the chat, I said Heyman will take 0 bumps. Heyman took 1 bump. Okay.
He did. Because I'm not going to lie. At first, I was like, I know that's supposed to be fake, but that kind of really did look like he fell, and it looked like he missed a step and hit his shin on the step, like one of those Peter Griffin type movements, bro. I'm like, he was trying to be fake, but he really ended up getting himself.
He busted himself. Yeah, Roman comes out. It's a car wreck. Roman attacks Pearce. Pearce gets a punch in. That was nice. Yeah. Roman intern kicks him in the dick, and then throws Pearce out into the crowd, the Thunderdome. At this point, Kevin Owens in
Hold up. Who said in the chat somebody gets told to stay away and they actually stay away? Was that in the chat or did I just see that on Twitter maybe?
I don't know. I didn't recall.
Yeah, somebody said that and then literally like 10 minutes later.
Yeah, here out comes Owens, which I called in the chat. I was like,
right.
Owens comes out. He attacks Roman Reigns. Surprisingly. Yeah. Kevin Owens stands tall. He gets a stunner in there. He throws Roman outside, beats him down some more. Officials try to separate him. He gets another stunner in there, and then pop-up powerbomb through the commentary table. And I don't know if it was a botch or not, but did you catch this where they ran the copyright logo, but they didn't go off air? So Kevin Owens grabbed the steps and motioned that he was going to attack him with the steps.
That part, but I didn't realize that they ran the stuff like they were going off air.
Yeah, they ran the copyright logo right after the pop-up powerbomb, and Kevin Owens walked off. And it's normally when it would fade, right, but nothing happened. So Kevin Owens grabbed the steps and they kind of extended it out a little bit. But then that's how SmackDown went off the air.
And this is something that Vince pointed out to me. Me and him first started doing NXT. Whenever whoever stands tall before the go-home show, 90% of the time they're losing at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. But that's the crazy thing. This wasn't even the go-home show.
Oh, shit, it's not. It's next week.
It's next week. Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah, damn.
They treated it like the go-home show.
Yeah, I thought this was the whole time. I thought this was the go-home show.
We have one more SmackDown left.
We got a whole last week.
Who knows? Maybe Roman gets his comeuppance. Dude, Kevin Owens, that's the easiest lock on Royal Rumble of the whole pay-per-view is Kevin Owens losing that match.
I love Kevin Owens so much, man. And he's so deceptively strong too. Like doing that pop-up to Roman. Like Roman is huge. Like he's not a small guy. And the amount of people that he gets that off on, I don't know. It's just he's just wasted. And like I said, it's not so much with Roman with this feud itself, because this is finally getting him in the main event and everything, and I'm here for that. And Roman is just too hot and too fire. So I'm not mad at him taking these L to Roman, because he's literally, to me, this is the best storyline, and he's the hottest wrestler in wrestling right now. So I'm not mad at this, but there's so much more shit you could be doing with Kevin Owens. I don't know. I wouldn't even mind him being in the Intercontinental thing, him and Big E on the mic versus each other. Tell me that wouldn't be fire.
I mean, Kevin Owens did do the whole brief stint with the New Day. That was pretty funny. But yeah, that was SmackDown, you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in the live chat, especially. You guys were active all night. Thank you so much. Once again, never miss a show live on twitch.tv/puttingyouover. Hit that notification bell so you hear us every time we go live. Once again, on YouTube, hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Please, man, help us out. Help out the show. And then, of course, the Patreon, too. Patreon.com/SmackDrawPodcast. We love you guys. Thank you all for tuning in like you do every week. Until next time, y'all have a good one.
See you guys Wednesday.